Oh, they ain't tell y'all? You tuning into the best morning show on the globe. It's Bradham and Emery in the morning, y'all. LeBron or Jordan, either one when I'm performing. Crossover, buzzer beater and I'm scoring. Bradham and Emery in the morning. Every play they on it. Every day I'm balling. Who's the coach? Who's the GOAT? Like Brady and Belichick, best show on the globe. And they embellish it. Y'all paying Zippy, I'm Ken Griffey or maybe Mahomes. I stay in the zone, whether man to man or play in the zone. They can't stop me. Mayweather boxing, Curry with the shot, man. We just the best to be. Can we have our SP, please? This was meant to be. Every morning with Bradham and Emery.
Yes, sir. You know the vibes. Bradham in the morning. Marques Bradham, Justin Emery.
Yo.
So,
hold up real quick before we get into this. Happy birthday to Allen Iverson.
the answer.
The answer. And you know what he gets in 9 years?
That milli check.
32 M's.
That 32 milli check. Yeah.
Yes. So, happy birthday to my favorite player ever. And obviously it's Sixers bias heavily. But shout out to my happy birthday to my favorite player ever. And I just want to get that off the top because I know that if I don't say it in the beginning, I'll forget about it.
So Friday, as a present for me finishing the school year with my kids and getting that done on Friday. This is my MVP dad year. I put up 37.99 this year.
Okay. Just short of a double, but it's okay. It's still a great stat line.
Yeah. Amber got me a throwback white AI jersey.
Oh.
Yeah, the 2001 edition throwback.
So I have to say this to you right now. You fully know that we're on camera.
Yes.
And yet you don't have it anywhere to show it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna bust it out one of these days. That's poor on me. I should have had it on today, but I'm gonna bust out one. But yeah,
no, you don't have to wear it. Just hold it up in front of the camera.
Yeah, I was just like, yo,
that is
this is dynamite here.
That's a home run out from her.
Yeah, easy home, especially in the white one too, because like the white one's the rare one. Like everyone gets a black one, but the white one, the home one. So
I would love to get a Embiid Iverson black jersey.
Yeah, there's been a lot of whispers about them bringing back that jersey style, even from the players. But like,
They won't after they did the City Edition.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to see that 2001 jersey back again, especially with this group. But probably not gonna happen. So oh well. But
highly unlikely. Outside of knowing it's Iverson's birthday, I don't have any facts, so you guys know what that means.
Listen, that's a big one. That's big.
Yeah. But so outside of that, you know what we say? Nothing happened today.
Nothing happened
today.
But something did happen yesterday. It was game one of the semifinals, Sixers Hawks. The fanfare. Triple H comes out with Embiid. A raucous ovation.
Could you imagine?
Oh my gosh, my buddy was there. He literally texted me Triple H with 45 exclamation points. I was like, I had to run some errands, so I missed the first 20 minutes of the game. I was like, what? And I went on Twitter and it was all over the place. But that was really cool. The crowd was alive, and they were not treated to a great performance by the Sixers in the first 3 quarters and a half. So I'm going to start by saying this before I get into the negative stuff. Nothing that I saw yesterday changes anything I said on Wednesday and Friday. I still feel exactly the same way that I did Wednesday and Friday. The Sixers are a better team than the Hawks. They match up really well with the Hawks, no question. And I even though things got ugly at times and they end up taking the L, I still hold firm to all of those statements because they are all true. And the way the last 4 minutes unfolded, you kind of saw what I was talking about, where the Knicks' biggest problem in the series before them is that they really had no matchup for Trae Young that could slow him down. The matchup for Trae Young for them was a problem all series. And you see all that Trae Young does for that team. Trae Young is the thing that makes them go. I know that's a cliche used a lot in sports, but this is really true. Like, he provides everything for them. When he's not taking shots and he's not penetrating, he's creating shots for everyone else. You look at the rest of that team, they don't really have any other playmakers. If you think about it, they are a better version than the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks are a similar type team where Luka has to do so much, but they don't have nearly the shooters that Atlanta does. Atlanta has shooters everywhere, so they get better. They get the same shots Dallas gets, but Dallas doesn't. They have trouble making them knocking them down. So I'm not changing anything. I still think Sixers in 6. This was disappointing to me because I was disappointed having a week to prepare, and this was your game plan. I thought the first half game plan was horrible. This loss to me is strictly on Doc, by the way. I think the game plan was terrible. Forcing Danny Green to guard Trae Young on an island and give him no help the 19 of the 25 points that Trae Young scored in the first half was on Danny Green. And although Danny Green, listen, and I'm sure you're going to get into it, Danny Green did not have a great game on both sides of the floor. However, if you're going to say, okay, Danny, we want you to be primary guy on Trae Young, the idea of doing that and not giving him help is just stupid. It doesn't make sense. And in the second half, you saw in the second half that they did still use Danny Green on possessions. Now, you saw Ben on him more and Matisse on him more, but also Danny Green had possessions on him. But what they did is they gave him help. They forced Trae Young on the sidelines. They trapped him in the sidelines. They got the ball out of his hands. Trae Young from first half to second half were two different people. First half, Trae Young, 25 points, 7 assists. Second half, he had 10 points and 3 assists. Why? Because you changed the way you changed the way. I don't know if it was a lack of respect. I don't know what it was, but they did not take that matchup serious enough for me, which I didn't understand. Ben Simmons even talked about in the press conference how he says they took too long to get to getting the ball out of Trae Young's hands, and he does want to guard him more, which is confusing to me. How in the first half you really didn't have Ben on him at all, Matisse on him at all. I don't know. That didn't make sense. But the game plan was not good. The second part is I don't know if Doc thought this was like game 6 of the matchup against the Wizards, but like you cannot have your bench out there because that's really the game was that second quarter when you're in the first quarter down 15, which is bad enough. But okay, we can make this up. You get it to like 10, and then you put your entire bench in, and the Hawks can go up by 26 by that point. And that's really the game because you lose by 4, but at that point you're down by 26, and now you're climbing, trying to get back in the game, the entire game, and you're always fighting from behind. And it's very hard to overcome deficits like that just by the odds of the numbers and the time alone. So that really right there was your ball game, that stretch in that second quarter. So they're going to win. They're going to win tomorrow night. I think it's going to be pretty easy to win tomorrow night. I don't know if they get 2 in Atlanta, but they get 1 in Atlanta. They'll win game 5. They'll win game 6. But like this was bad, and like this they should have won this game. They're a better team. They match up really well with this Hawks team because, like I said, the athletic perimeter defense they have, and you saw that again all second half, which frustrates me. That you saw how good they can be on the perimeter, which they weren't at all in the first half. Bogdanovic hit some huge shots down the stretch, or if he didn't do that, the Hawks might lose this game. So, for me, it's just this is a Doc loss. Do better. Let's get it together for game 2.
I agree with almost everything you said there. The defense was not there for this game, and that's the calling card for the Sixers. I've said on this show before, you said on this show before, I'm sure we both said to other people that the Sixers can score in flurries and bunches, and not because they're great on offense. They're good on offense. They're a good offense team, but they can score and turn the tide around on a scoreboard so quickly because they can get stop after stop after stop. They can put stops back to back to back together and then go down and score. So, they might be able to get 4, 5, 6 stops in a row, and next thing you know, they're on an 11-0, 13-0, 15-0 run. The game was lost in the second quarter yesterday, just like you said. It was at so I was watching yesterday at the 5-minute and 56-second mark of the second quarter. I texted a friend of mine. I said, I'd concede the game basically right now. Now, I wouldn't give up, obviously. You got to play the game. But you're climbing a mountain that I don't think you're going to be able to overcome, and you don't want to have nothing left potentially for Tuesday. Now, they came within, 2, 3, 4 points at the end of the game.
Got 2 with 8 seconds left, and it got to 3 with about a minute to go.
Yeah. So, I mean, you never want to give up a game in the playoffs and all that.
Right.
And when I talked to you on the phone yesterday, I told you I was like, I probably would have chalked it, and you said, it's the playoffs. You don't chalk games like that. But when your MVP candidate has a torn meniscus, or let me rephrase that, a tear in his meniscus, 39 points, to me basically looked unfazed by the injury.
Yeah.
I mean, now I'm sure he's in a lot of pain. I'm sure he's very, very.
Yeah, the game days for him are going to be. He's going to be okay. I have ligament damage in my knee, and I'm starting to pay for it now at 40. However, this has been a thing with me now for about 8-9 years, and I played, and I was okay. Like, what you notice is after the games, like the swelling you get, and like
today is rough for him.
Yeah, controlling that swelling is going to be the what's going forward, what they're going to have to manage. And if you could do that, which I mean, him being young, him being 26, 27 years old, like
27.
So his recovery should be fine for this right now. Like he should be fine. Like honestly, like I don't want to undersell it, but like a partial tear of meniscus really isn't that big of a deal. It really isn't that serious.
Part of it is, do you trust this medical staff to get him ready?
Yeah, I mean that is because they've botched so many things, but like he should be fine. Like they're like barring any more damage to it. If this is the worst it's going to be for the playoffs, this really shouldn't be a big story going forward. And you saw that yesterday how well he performed. Like he should be fine.
Now there was 2 points that. Now, like I said, the 5-minute, 56-second mark in the second quarter is when I earmarked the game for a loss. Yeah. But there was the 17-0 run, I believe, also in the second quarter that happened. The Hawks went on the 17. So, I mean, this
was the all bench time.
Was that during the all? I mean, there's nothing it's so hard to overcome a 17-0 run, and then so it was 4 minutes and 27 seconds, I believe it was, left in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I believe the Sixers are down 8 at this point in time. They, how they do the thing where they roll the ball, and so it's doing all that.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Danny Green, up, back, back on. I believe it was Trae Young that had the ball there.
Did you see Embiid?
Embiid, I was just about to get to that. Embiid loses his mind and starts screaming at Danny Green to get up there and start pressing him.
Right.
You know how much time came off there?
It had to. It takes 8 seconds to go over half court, so it's 6-7 seconds at least probably. And then go over. So you probably a total of 9 to 10 seconds. That was.
So from the time that they inbounded the ball, the time that the shot clock started, almost 18 seconds came off because they allowed the ball to roll over half court.
Yeah.
Extending the 8 seconds.
Right.
So you're looking at almost a half of a minute off the game clock.
Yeah.
That you could have changed.
Right.
Now it's too easy to just pile on Danny Green and blame him for this loss because there's a whole lot of factors. Now, Ben Simmons foul shooting, that didn't lose the game, in itself, but it's concerning.
Shooting in general, it didn't because Maxey misses 2 in the middle. Like how you can feel the run coming, like you feel it. Like I can always, like I'm looking at, here's the run. I feel it. This is the run.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
In the middle of the run, Maxey goes to the line and shoot 2. Misses both of them. Danny Green misses an open 3. I think Tobias Harris misses an open 3. And then the Hawks go back up by like 16. It was like at the 11 point mark, somewhere in there. And the Hawks go back up because they figured it out again. You tell the run was coming, and in the middle of the run, like those missed free throws. And this is, I'm sorry to cut you off, but this is when it comes to Ben Simmons, this is a problem. This is a problem. He shot 3 for 10 from the line yesterday. 3 for 10. 3 for 10. You lose by 4.
So Jimmy Kemsky put out a stat. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Because I don't want to misread the stat.
I'll just keep. I mean, let me know when you got it. But
I was also going to say everything you said at the top about the not worried about the team, etc. All that. I'm right there in the exact same mindset with you, especially because Atlanta won't shoot like that again.
Right.
I mean, they were unbelievable from 3.
They shot, I believe, 77% in the first quarter.
Yeah, like that. They won't do that again.
Yeah, it was stupid.
Here it is. Jimmy Kemsky. This is kind of. Tell me if this is not kind of unacceptable to be the primary ball handler of the number 1 seed, but you're 11 of 34 from the line.
Yeah, and I want to go back to that you're the primary ball handler. Like this is people are kind of putting this in the Shaq basket, but it can't be in that basket because this is something we've never seen before. A primary ball handler that shoots this bad from the line, that's this ineffective from the foul line. Like we've never seen this.
He has a follow-up tweet to it. He goes, "Admittedly, I'm kind of a just watch basketball games here and there type of person. So maybe there's something I'm missing more to Ben Simmons. But isn't it weird to me that so many people defend this 11 of 34 from the line? Just so you know,
it's horrible.
That's 32%.
Yeah, it's terrible. And like again, when this was happening in the Wizards series, it was never about the Wizards series. It was about the people that know the game and know where this is going, thinking about playing Brooklyn, playing Milwaukee, this series. Like you need, like when the games get close, you got to have your primary ball handler to be able to knock down free throws. And when Doc was sitting here pretending like this wasn't a big deal, and it's okay to hit one free throw per possession, it's like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, are you out of your mind?
I wonder if he has. I mean, he'll never come out and say it. You know what I mean? He'll never come out and admit that he regrets saying something, but I wonder if he, like in a private moment by himself, wishes he didn't defend Ben Simmons so hard for offense.
Well, I hope Sam Cassell or one of his opposing sides said, "Yo, bro, that wasn't it." Like I really hope someone got in his ear and told him that that's not the move. But the problem with this Ben Simmons foul shooting thing is not a quick fix. Like it's
getting worse.
Right, he has really bad fundamentals, as we talked about. His motion changes every time at the line. And you can't, like when it comes to foul shooting in general, it needs to be the same every single time, or you can't commit to muscle memory. So you can't, the whole idea of, lock him in the gym and make him shoot 100 free throws. I don't want him doing that because he's shooting it the wrong way. So even if he does that, it's not going to improve anything because his fundamentals are whack. He has bad fundamentals. So this is going to be a problem all throughout the playoffs. And
who's that shooting coach?
Herb McGee.
No. Drew Hanlon.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Hanlon.
Can we get him in here?
Yeah.
I know he's already working with Embiid.
Right. Yeah. This whole thing needs to be deconstructed and it needs to be rebuilt this summer. But we don't have time to do that now. So now we're just stuck with it for the rest of the playoffs, and he's got to hope they can overcome it. But again, you lose by 4 points. He misses 7 free throws. Do the math. Like he makes 4 of those, you're in overtime. You know what I mean? He makes 4 of those, you're in overtime. So that's 70%. That's not even great from the line. That's just about average for an NBA player, especially a point guard. Like
Embiid hit 85%. And they said yesterday on the broadcast, Embiid hits 85% of his foul shots.
He shot 14-15 yesterday.
So I mean, when you put Embiid on the foul line, you're not only are you racking up team fouls, player fouls, et cetera.
Yeah,
he's converting those.
Yeah. And, I mean, it's like there is no way I can look you rationally in the face and have you tell me that this is not an issue and this could not be a potential major issue going forward. But when it comes to this game, I don't like the bench is a concern because game to game, we don't know what we're going to get. Like, think about this for a second. Your sixth man has been relegated to barely not even playing anymore. Like, that's where we're at right now with Shake Milton. He's basically not. He's basically become a non-factor.
Yeah, he's basically been signal whatever he did something that pissed Doc off.
I mean, we'll start with the lack of production, and Shake Milton in big moments. He looks skitterish. He just looks like a guy who is the lights are too bright. I don't know, and this is something I worried about him after watching in the bubble playoffs how he performed. Even though he played pretty well during the season, coming off the bench and being sixth man, there's something I worry about. So now Shake Milton's out basically. So your bench now already because of that is in disarray. Maxey's played pretty well. Didn't have a great game yesterday, but for the most part he's been pretty good. But this is what I didn't want. I don't want to be relying on a 19-year-old in the NBA playoffs. Like Maxey this year is supposed to be in bubble wrap to watch all of this and be ready for next year. But now you're asking him to go out there and give you major minutes off the bench. Korkmaz played okay yesterday. He wasn't terrible. I can't really say what he did was awful, but I don't want to rely on him either. I don't want to rely on him. Like I don't want to have to let. But like this is what the problems you have with this bench. Like I've always had my eyebrow up when it came to this bench for moments like this. Dwight Howard's been great all season. He's been pretty good in the playoffs. But my biggest thing with Dwight Howard is you notice when he gets those putbacks, he misses a lot of those. And then he has to go to the line, and he's not a great shooter either. So you have that problem also with his foul shooting. So the bench to me is scary. And for Doc to look out there and say, all five of you out there is what? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I want to see 1 to 2 starters on the floor with bench pieces at all time for the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah, you cannot run out these all bench lineups.
No. That'll work in the Wizards, but not here.
Yeah, thankfully we didn't have a Hive sighting yesterday. I wouldn't have. The game's not officially over until you see the Hive on the court. Like once you see him on the court, the game's a wrap.
Yeah, he's become the cigar at the end of the game. So
I mean, I still, like you said, I still think Sixers in 6. Nothing I saw yesterday changes any of that.
I expect tomorrow night to have them start with Ben on Trey.
Well, so they need to ratchet up the physicality in this series. Now,
but you know what? Here's the problem with that.
Some of it's going to have to, you have to deal with refs, fouls, etc.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to be more physical. You're going to have to turn this into a little bit of a street yard or schoolyard fight. And part of that is because the Sixers are so much bigger than, definitely the Hawks. But I'm saying like in general, their team is usually, you have 2 7-foot centers, a 6'10" point guard, and 6'8" to 6'9" guys littered throughout the roster. Like you should physically be beating the hell out of teams.
If you want to get physical, Ben might have to be your help defender.
Yeah. Now, did you see Simmons give it to Bogdan yesterday on? Like the announcers were complaining that it wasn't called for an offensive foul, but did you see him just erase Bogdanovich out of the screen?
Yes.
He came down, put his shoulder down, and he was just erased off the picture.
Yeah.
You got to beat these guys up a little bit. Trae Young's a little guy.
Yeah.
Trae Young is. Marcus, how tall are you?
I'm 6 foot.
He's small. You're bigger than he is.
Yeah.
You should. It doesn't make any sense. Like you said, Doc, I don't know what the game plan was. You had 3, 4, 5 days to plan for this. They said on the pregame show they had 2 separate game plans. They had the game plan for with Embiid, and you had the game plan without Embiid. Now, I don't know what the game plan was without Embiid, but maybe you should have ran with this one.
Right.
No,
Right.
I don't get it.
And I want to see Trae Young play defense. Like whoever, he's guarding Danny Green. So Danny Green needs to be more active offensively. That's just because you got to get him playing both sides of the court. He's not going to guard Ben or Steph or Toby.
Not big enough.
Right. He's not going to do that. So get Danny Green. Listen, at some point you were in some situation where you had a small defender on you. Get down the block, post up a little bit, because honestly, that's going to help on the offensive side. Trae Young's usage rate is so high offensively for them. If you make him work a little bit on the defense, that's going to show. Again, the parallel of Atlanta and Dallas. That's pretty much what the Clippers did with Luka, is that they forced him to work everywhere and forced it to make it really hard. So by the time he gets the fourth quarter, he has nothing left because he's to do so much for everyone else. And I want that same philosophy with Trae Young. Make him work on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and we'll be diving into that Clippers Mavs game 7 shortly. But yeah, exactly what you said. They need to. You can't just let him sit back and just go off on offense, and then he's just basically a chess piece that you move around to take up space on the defensive side. It's just you got to make him work harder. But
and by the way, this is my last point on Trae Young. Trae Young is not a great shooter. He shot 35% in the Knicks in three. What Trae Young is really good at, Trae Young can knock down those long threes, but if you get him taking them out of rhythm like they did in the second half, he's not a great shooter. He's not Dame Lillard. He's not Steph Curry.
He's a volume shooter.
Right. He's a guy, he gets a lot of shots up. He got over 30 shots up in most of those games against the Knicks. It's a lot of shots up. And when he gets in a rhythm, then he's capable of hitting those 30-foot shots. Like at the end of the first half, where he hit one in Toby's grill, where Toby didn't have his hands up. That's because he was in rhythm. But you saw he took a lot of those shots in the second half, and they were bad misses because he's not a guy that shoots great when he's not in a rhythm. And that's what you need to do with him, is get him out of rhythm. I want him taking those 30-foot threes because he's not great at it. Yeah, shoot at 35%, bro. We'll live with that. What I can't have you doing is the penetration, breaking down the defense, collapsing it. So now you're swinging the ball around. You got Herter, you got Collins, you got Bogdanovich, you got Gallinari. You got all these guys on the wings that can shoot the basketball. That's what we can't have. We can't have him breaking down the defense. So that's why if you're gonna have Danny Green on him, you gotta have the help defense. So that's why you talk about getting physical, which I agree with. And you also made the point too about how the Sixers are a big team. So the refs see that, and they're going to give Trae those ticky-tack fouls. Like Ben picked up 2 fouls on Trae in 5 minutes in the third quarter because they were giving him those ticky-tack fouls because Trae's a smaller dude. So I like Ben almost better as that second defender to come trap because Trae has a hard time seeing over that trap, as you saw yesterday. So Danny Green being on Trae Young is not the problem. The problem is if he's going to do it, you need to bring help to him.
Yeah.
Matisse and Ben are the only 2 guys I trust of saying, yo, go guard him, do what you can, do your best.
Yeah,
because
take him man on man.
Right.
So,
but, again, not worried.
Not worried at all. Like I said, Sixers in 6 still. So from one Eastern Conference semifinal game 1 to another, I hit you up on Saturday night after I saw it. Now, I didn't catch the first half of this game. I tuned in at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
13 seconds into the game, ironically, number 13 gets hurt.
Yeah.
Walks straight, comes off, doesn't even stop at the bench, just walks right off the court, right to the locker room. Already ruled out for game 2 for tonight.
Yeah. This is a direct repercussion of James Harden not taking care of his body in going into the season. Now, all those foolish games he played, James Hardy's out there at Magic City, eating yourself out of Houston. This is the problem with doing things like that, is that a hamstring injury generally, that is when you get hamstring injuries, is a direct result of you not being in shape. Hamstrings happen to people that you can be a great athlete, but if your body is not ready for that quick twitch, you get the hamstring issues. And this is the problem. This is you wanted to be slick, put on all that weight, eat yourself out of Houston, that's fine. And now you're paying the price because the hammy's not ready yet. The hammy's not in shape yet.
Well, now, did he eat his way out of Houston, or did he have a fat suit on? Did we ever get to the bottom of that?
I don't know. Well, he's still. I mean, if you look at him now, he definitely has lost weight, but I wouldn't say this is the best version of James Harden. I think he still looks a little portly.
Yeah,
He's still actively losing that weight. Like they're still. So I think he definitely was eating himself out of Houston. But he definitely was supersizing everything.
I mean, not to get too political, but did Texas ever shut down? I mean, he probably had plenty of places to go to.
Oh yeah, and he's James Harden, so he was really like the mayor of that city. So he can get anything he wants. And then he's at little baby's birthday. Gave them the honey buns with the honey bun, the 100K. At the strip club. Strip clubs, as we know, have legendary buffets, so he's partaking in that.
Now,
it's the whole thing.
Yes. Now, my thing is that I don't want the Sixers to have to go to Game 6 because I don't need them going for another trip to Magic City.
Right.
You know what I mean?
If Uncle Lou calls, don't answer the phone.
No.
No phone. I would say if I was Doc, I would say there's no phone calls from Uncle Lou.
No,
Uncle
he's not allowed. He's not calling. You're not picking up anything from Lou. You're not allowed to. If he's calling, the only thing that you're getting is takeout lemon pepper. Like, do not go anywhere with him.
Yep.
But I mean, Kyrie played essentially the whole game, besides like the last 2 minutes of the game after the blowout. KD, I think he played 40 minutes himself. The vast majority of the starters played 35 to 40 minutes for them.
Yeah.
No James Harden in this game. Don't get me wrong. Brooklyn is so top heavy. They're so good top heavy. Yeah. I don't know. The thing, if he's already ruled out of game 2 I saw that he was ruled out at like 9 something this morning.
Yeah.
So he's I'd be hard pressed to see if he comes back this whole season. Or I'm sorry, this whole series.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe season because with a hamstring, they don't know. Did he rip his bone this time? Or he's in it again?
Like, my thing is that the reason I say this series and not the season is because as you get deeper in the playoffs, as you go, you play through whatever. As long as you can physically get out there, you just play through whatever. So, I mean, I know he's played in a conference finals game before, conference finals before. I don't think Harden's ever played in the NBA finals, though, before. I don't think he was
yes, he did. Yeah.
Was he with that OKC team? Okay, yeah. He was
young Harlan. Yeah,
he was okay. Yeah. Still, I don't say it. I don't know if that means the Bucks are going to win because, I mean, Middleton's not going to play that bad again. He did not have a good game 1, but I don't know. This throw, on one side you lose Vincenzo, the other side you lose Harden. Now I'm not trying to say.
DiVincenzo.
Yeah, now I'm not trying to say that DiVincenzo's on Harden's level, but they're both starters on the number 2 and the number 3 seeded team in the playoffs, and chances are you're not going to see either one. Well, you're definitely not going to see DiVincenzo, but I don't think you're going to see Harden again this series. And I'm not saying that that's going to be the detriment of them, but look at it like this. You don't have the guys that you traded for Harden anymore, and now you don't have Harden either.
Yeah. I mean, it's an excellent point. I mean, and that's the problem with what they did going that top heavy is that they're in a situation now where that piece is removed and they don't have those other pieces anymore. They're gone.
Yeah, I'm going to. I can't make any predictions of this series based off game 1. I know Brooklyn won, but the Harden injury changes everything. So I'm going to have to wait until after tonight's game to really make a prediction.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's going to be a tough series, I think. I literally have no idea, about the series. I mean, nothing's going to surprise me. Whoever wins the series, it's just not. The Harden injury, we're going to have to see how much that affects them tonight. Mm-hmm. Now, Harden has been the guy out of 3 guys when they got them. I always said someone's going to have to sacrifice their role. I thought it was going to be Kyrie, but it's been Harden, and it's worked because Harden is the better point guard of the two. Harden's the guy that can set people up and has no problem setting people up. So that's worked for them. So now who's going to be that guy now for Kyrie and Durant? Who's going to be that guy to set them up? That'll be interesting to see how that works. And then also too for the Milwaukee, it's that game 2. You want to go out there and steal on the road. Got pretty much blown out game 1. What's going to look like tonight? So we'll see. But the DiVincenzo loss for them was huge. It was huge because he's a utility knife for them, and like he not only is a shooter, he's a really really good defender, and not having that body is huge for them because their backups can shoot like him. They can't defend like him. Like Brent Forbes isn't defending like he is. I can always forget this guy's name. The other guy, side part drives me crazy. 3-point shooter. I don't know. I don't remember his name, but he also too is not. He's a good shooter, but he's not a great defender.
Yeah. Real quick before we go to break, I'm not necessarily known to be a fashion person. No, I'm not going to be giving out any fashion advice. I'm not Uncle Jerv out here or anything.
Okay.
But Kevin Durant, I think you should go and get the same hairstyle that PJ Tucker has.
Yeah. I mean, we don't want to be honest. We can bring Trae Young. Trae Young's into the chat also. Like, I don't know what you're doing either. Like, you need to get that together. I mean, Trae's balding trance would have hit a lot harder if the Sixers weren't down 26 in the first half.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're right. It's not a great haircut.
Not doing good over there, but
Take off bald hair when you're balding. That's not.
No. We're gonna hit a quick commercial break. On the other side, we got some more NBA to get into. Firefest 2.0 may have occurred.
Yeah.
Some NFL news, some baseball stuff, and I have a story about what happened to me on Saturday.
All right, love it. Bradman this morning, Marcus Brown, Justin Emery. We'll be right back.
Looking for authentic Mexican food close to home? Great news. District Taco has opened its newest location in Abington, Pennsylvania, and they'd love to fiesta with you. Offering Yucatecan fish tacos, burrito mojados smothered in delicious salsa, and crispy sweet churros, District Taco has it all. Try out the newest location or check out their website, districttaco.com, and come back for more. District Taco. Always fresh, always Mexican.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys today about my friends at Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality and gourmet ice cream and sorbet, made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available. Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road in Warminster and is open all year round. Visit Uncle Mike's and let their friendly staff serve you happiness one scoop at a time. Yeah, man. Welcome back. Brown in the morning. Marcus Brown with Justin Emery, of course. So, Game 7.
Mm-hmm.
Game 7. I wish I had a megaphone for this because, like, Mark Cuban, I hope you're on the phone. Like, as soon as that series ended, I hope you're on the phone trying to get Luka as much help as you can. Because I don't know what else really he can do. Like, this is not a Luka problem. This is a Dallas Mavericks problem.
Yeah. So before you continue, I want to throw out a headline that I read today that I purposely did not send you because I wanted to. Now you may have seen it. It's in regards to Porzingis, but I wanted to. I purposely didn't send it to you because I wanted to tell you about it on air if you hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
Reports are that Porzingis is voicing frustration that he feels like an afterthought and not a number 2 in the building to Luka, and is basically feeling disrespected because of that.
Okay, and
this came from Bleacher Report, so it's not just some. Yeah.
I'm going to validate those feelings for you, and that all is probably true. However, they are all warranted because you
That was
You're
great.
not Trump's dude. Like you're not playing like a number two. Like what trade was this? Was this a Kristaps Porzingis trade or was this a Tim Hardaway Jr. trade? What trade was it? Because let's be honest, who's been a more valuable piece to Luka? Has it been you, Kristaps, Unicorn, or has it been Tim Hardaway Jr.?
So let me ask you this, okay? Porzingis is what, 7'3"?
7'3".
Okay. So 7'3" to the average. What's the average NBA player? 6'5", 6'6", something like that.
That's pretty close, yeah.
So he's about what, 6 to 8 inches taller than the average player. Okay. Mm-hmm. Hypothetically, you and I went out to play basketball 1-on-1. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And what would be looking at, like, you and I go out there, what would be your first thought of how you would beat me?
I'm taking the walk.
Okay.
We're going for a walk. We're going down the post, and we're gonna sit down there for a little bit.
And why would you not go down low and shoot over top of me?
Right.
You're bigger than I. Why would you not do that?
Right.
So why is he at the 3-point line?
Yeah. I mean, and listen.
Get your big ass on the block.
Yeah. At some point. And like, listen, shooting threes, that could be an option for you. But you should be on the block. And I'm watching him in the ball screen game with Luka.
That's so I got angry there for a second. My shoe fell off.
Just so excited about going to the shoot him out.
I was like swinging my legs. My shoe just fell off.
Yeah, I'm watching the ball screen on Luka. Like, I don't know what his plan is. Like, roll to the rim, big fella. Where are you going? Set the screen, get you behind the rim. And like, I don't know. Like, he's had a lot of lower body injuries over his career.
He's a big guy.
Yeah. So his game to me, I'm gonna have to go back and look at some New York Knicks Kristaps Prime stuff to compare. But his game looks very different, right? That I can hear in my head when he first came out than what it is now. Like he's much more mobile and much better at getting his own shot than he is. Like now, he can't get his own shot. Like this is why you're being looked at differently because you're false advertisement. You came in here with the reputation of a and like when a trade happened, I was like, oh, that's perfect. Like him and Luka, this could be 10 years of terror.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking of the New York Knicks unicorn, but this isn't the same guy. Like you can't create your own offense, and that's the problem. Is when we talk about the Hawks and Dallas, they're basically the same team, but the Hawks have better pieces. But if you're gonna have guys that can't create their offense, you got to have a bunch of knockdown jump shooters. And thank you, Daryl Morey, for the Steph Curry trade. I don't know how you convinced Mark Cuban to give you that one, because Josh Richardson gave them nothing. Steph Curry's averaging, I think, like 15 in the playoffs. Josh Richardson gave you 4 points a game this series. And you got him for defense. And the biggest thing was they couldn't get stops down the stretch against the Clippers. And Josh Richardson was no help in that regard. So I don't like when it comes to that team, Luka gives you 46 yesterday. He's scored I actually have some Luka stats I'm gonna pull up right now based off the series and off his playoffs so far. Sure. So let me go to the first one. I got some quotes too, which I like from him. So right now, the highest points per game in NBA playoff history, this young in their career. Luka at 33.5. He's eclipsed Michael Jeffrey Jordan 33.
I believe he's number one.
Yeah, he is. Luka yesterday created 77 points. Scoring and assisting on 77 points. It is the most ever by a player in a Game 7. No one has created that much offense in a Game 7 before. And you still lose the game. So I look at this and I love his mentality. He was quoted here by saying, they asked him about what he has proved in the playoffs. He said, nothing yet. We've been in the playoffs twice since I've been there. We lost both times. So nothing yet. You get paid to win, and we didn't do it. He also said, I hate losing. Still, he's proud of the Mavs series. And I love that from him. He's the youngest player to ever average 35 points a game in a postseason run, ahead of Kareem and Jordan.
Yeah, like we said last week, he has the brightest future of any player that's ever played in the NBA.
By the way,
this age,
Did you see him turn down the jersey swap with Paul George?
I did. Was it PG?
Yeah, it's Paul George. They're having Paul George.
I do. I remember that. For some reason, I thought it was Kawhi. He turned it down.
No, it was Paul George. Paul George.
Yeah. No, I did see that. He took it off, and then you just see George walking with his jersey in his hand.
It walks away, and Paul George. So he goes, "No, I don't want that. I'm good." But I don't.
So that game, though, you saw it happening in Game 6 a little bit, but that game, Kawhi. What did we say that Kawhi has to do? And he made him work on defense. Like how many times did he make sure that Luka got switched onto him?
Yeah,
and then went at him.
Yep, which is important. And
that's what you got to do. Back to what we were saying that the Sixers have to do with Trae Young. That's what you got to do. Now, let me pose a question to you. Now, without looking at the numbers in front of you, or I should say, looking at research in front of you, has there been a trade in the NBA that both teams are happy with more than the Luka and Trae Young trade?
Yeah, I mean,
literally a win-win for both sides.
Their careers.
I'm not sure that either team would make the trade again. Like, I'm not sure Atlanta would trade Trae Young to get Luka, and vice versa. Now, I would, but do you think there's been a more evenly considered win-win trade in the NBA?
Yeah, I mean, like Luka's a better version of Trae Young, but they're similar players in how they can do so much for your team. I think as we go forward, I believe Dallas definitely won this trade. And that's no disrespect to Trae Young. Trae Young has been very, very good. Could have been an all-star this year. But I think that if Luka gets those type of pieces and a true number 2, they have a better shot to win a championship over Trae Young in the East.
I agree. Now, when does this series start? Do you know?
This is Jazz Clippers.
Yeah. Has it been announced yet?
I don't think so, but probably Wednesday.
Probably Wednesday.
Really Wednesday thing.
I think Clippers can push the Jazz. I still think the Jazz will win the series because of how deep they are, their shooting.
I don't know, man. This is a tough matchup for the Jazz. This is the Jazz. I'm sure if you gave him true serum, one of the Mavericks, because the Clippers,
they look like they're getting it together at the right time.
I'll say this: what the Jazz do really well, this is their worst matchup for them, because again, the length, the perimeter defending. The idea to be able that they have a bunch of guys that can close out on shooters.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see who guards Donovan Mitchell straight up, because he's the one guy on that team that can create his own offense. The rest of those guys, again, they're a bunch of shooters. Jordan Clarkson too, off the bench, to create his own offense.
Oh yeah, he's got the universal green light off the bench.
Right. So when you go with the guys like the Ingles of the world, they need help in that regard. So I'm going to be interested to see who takes the challenge of Donovan Mitchell, and how that goes. But I think the Clippers, to me, should win this series. If you're looking at it, who's the biggest stars on the floor? Who's the biggest stars? Kawhi Leonard. And your second, to me, would be Paul George.
Yeah.
So they should win this series. Like, if they lose this series, I believe, they should be favored to win this series. They should definitely be favored to win this series.
I can look at it right now and let you know.
And there's no disrespect to the Jazz. I just look at this and see that the Clippers have the pieces to stop the Jazz. The Jazz haven't been here. And if you're the Clippers, you can't go down 2 years in a row in the second round. You're not for that. Especially now there's no LeBron. You should be in the NBA. You should be in the conference finals against the Suns.
It's close. Line's not that big.
So what we got?
You got Clippers plus 116, Jazz minus 136.
It's for the series?
Yeah.
I'm taking that. I'm taking that action. I'll take the Clippers in the series.
Yeah, Clippers are plus one.
They should win this series, right? They should beat the Jazz in a 7-game series.
Yeah, Clippers to win. I mean, I don't think they're going to sweep, but Clippers 4-0, 1,300. Clippers 4-1, 700. Clippers 4-2 is 380. Clippers 4-3 is 500. So they're saying odds are going to go Clippers 4-2 is what the series is.
I like a 4-2. I like a 4-2 clip.
Yeah, I mean, if you took it, you're plus 380.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to look at that after the show because I like the Clippers a lot in this series. I think they match up really well with this Jazz team. I think the Jazz probably would have like swept the Mavericks. I don't think it's a good matchup for the Mavericks at all. However, on the flip side, it's a bad matchup for the Clippers. This is not good.
The Sixers and Hawks series is now a pick'em.
Yeah, I mean, I figured you have people out there jumping off the bandwagon, jumping off the cliff. I mean,
last night when I went to bed, they were plus money. Sixers were plus money to win the series. I'm mad I didn't pummel the line.
Yeah, they were. A lot of the experts were picking against the Sixers in the series. I don't get it, but it is what it is. But listen, Mark Cuban, get out there, pound the lines, get your boy some help. Don't waste this man's career. Get this man some assistance immediately. Like imagine this scenario. Luka paired with 2011 Dirk Nowitzki.
And Dirk was in the building yesterday.
Dirk was in the building. I was like, Dirk, I'm sure is out there watching this saying, man, I wish.
I wish I
could play with this kid.
Talking about fans in the stands, I'm boycotting the Migos until after this series.
Okay. Listen, we had, you know, it's funny. So I got the fight last night, which we're going to talk about.
We will get into it shortly.
Yeah. So we were talking, so I got the fight last night and they were they rapped before Floyd came out. Floyd came out with Moneybagg Yo to, what song did he come out to? I Got Time Today. And just before that, the Migos came to the ring rapping. And I saw Quavo and I was like, it's too soon. Too soon. I just had to look at you. I don't look at you right now. But speaking of,
yeah, let's just get into it.
Get into it while we're here.
So Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul.
Yep. Not
Jake Paul, his brother Logan Paul.
Yep.
Who's actually a lot bigger than Jake. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, he's 6'2", 6'3", probably close to 200 pounds.
Yeah.
He's a lot bigger than I thought.
Yeah.
Was this Firefest 2.0? And let me lay my case out to you for that, okay? So I did not watch the fight. I had no interest in the fight. I said yesterday that anybody that bet on the fight deserves whatever happens to them.
Right.
Because it was a no judges.
Right.
Like, what's the point of betting on this? There's no way to keep the integrity of the fight because of that. So I saw some videos online of people that were there. Paid like $800 a ticket to be way like front row, but like front row, like not round the ring though. On top of that, there was no in-stadium PA announcer for the fight. So people couldn't see what was going on.
Wow.
Now, I understand that like they both banked a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
But was this Firefest 2.0? Like, was this?
At the end of the day, it's shame on us or shame on me. Like,
yeah, shame on you.
Yeah. Floyd told us, he said, yo, this is a legalized bank robbery. And that's pretty much what it was. I left the decision up to Amber. I said, yeah, do you want to watch the fight when we order it? And she goes, yeah, why not? So that's why I ordered it. Honestly, if she said no, I would have very much inclined to not pay attention to it.
So, you see the video?
Here's what Floyd Mayweather. Let's go back to Floyd Mayweather in his prime.
Well, hold on, Robert. Did you see the video during the? I mean, you watched the fight, so I'm sure you saw it. At one point in time, it looked like Floyd knocked him out
on his feet.
Like he hits him, and then Logan like falls into him.
Arms, yeah.
And like he like wraps him up and like doesn't let him fall to the ground. He's got to keep the scam going.
Right.
Like, at one point in time, it looked like he knocked Logan out.
And you might be right. I know Danson you're talking about. He caught him a couple times with some good punches.
He also landed 15 more punches while throwing over 100 less.
Yes.
Like, Logan just didn't. I mean, the greatest defensive fighter ever.
Right.
And no one will dispute that.
Yeah.
But like, he got him a couple times, but like, I think he landed 18% of his punches. I think Floyd landed like 51% of his.
Floyd Mayweather in his prime was not what I would call a great fighter to watch. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. But I wouldn't call him a great fight to watch. Where Floyd has always made his money is he's always had an understanding that being the villain isn't a bad thing. And he's made his money with you paying to want to see him get punched in the face. That's where his money is. Now, when it comes to this fight here, if we go here, Floyd Mayweather is now 44 years old, and he still is very quick. But he's not a guy like the idea of him knocking out Logan Paul is hard because Logan Paul's a bigger dude. And like that being said, like Floyd Mayweather, I was saying to Amber, I was like, he just doesn't have the power to knock him out. Like even if he catches him with a good one, like Floyd needs a combination to put someone to sleep. He doesn't have a one-hitter quitter that could just knock somebody out like that. He can't. He's not the kind of fighter he is. So
and Floyd has notoriously fragile hands. Yes. I mean, he's broken one of his hands, or both of them, in the vast majority of his fights.
Yeah,
like he breaks his hands often. He's got brittle hands.
Yeah,
so he's not trying to go all out on that anyway. And I mean, Floyd, he fought at 155, I think he weighed in at.
Yep.
Like Floyd naturally about 147 to 150.
Yeah.
Like that's his so for him to go up to 155, I mean that's not that big of a deal.
Right.
He looked. Floyd is one of the most well-conditioned athletes of all time.
Yes.
But he's in good condition to like walk around the mall in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wasn't in boxing shape yesterday. Like he's not going to go out there and fight a boxer in the condition he was yesterday.
No. And that's why he said again, listen, I'm not fighting any more professional fights. I can do these exhibitions, but like this is the most you're going to get. Like I'm not fighting like, any contenders anymore. That's not who I am. 44 years old. I know that.
I would appreciate it if he, I mean, I don't want to say like disappears into the sunset, but like I don't need to see him in the ring again.
Well, listen, as long as they're giving out $50 million for him to fight, I don't see him doing that for a while. Because probably what's next is going to be Jake. Jake Paul set up to fight Woodley, another UFC guy.
Here's the thing, though, is that Logan came in there, like he wanted to fight Floyd Mayweather, but I don't think Logan went in there thinking he was going to win.
No, but you know what I will say, you got to bring up something about Logan Paul. I'm 40 years old. I'm not a huge Paul guy.
Yeah.
However, I thought that it was really cool him kind of taking everything in last night. Like when he came out, he was like, wow, how in the hell did I get here? Like he had that look all over his face and just excited, like, yo, I'm fighting Floyd Mayweather. I'm this kid from Westlake, Ohio, and I'm in this. We even said, if you watch his post-fight interview, he was like, yo, no one should ever say anything is impossible because look at where I'm at right now. Like I was a nobody 5 years ago, and I'm fighting Floyd Mayweather Jr. Like that's insane. Like and like he was so appreciative of the moment. So it kind of, I mean, that was endearing to me. But I love when people can look at that stuff like that and be like, yo, this is really cool what I'm doing right now.
Yeah,
like,
see, here, my thing though is that if he were to fight Jake's coming in with a different mind. Like,
yeah, Jake wants to knock his head off.
Logan's out there boxing as for a pastime. Jake's out there trying to knock somebody's head off.
Yeah, which he's done twice already.
Yes. Now, if he were to, like I said, if Floyd were to fight Jake, Floyd has to go into the bag a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I think Jake is a better fighter than Logan is.
I agree. Now, that being said, Jake
he's also smaller though.
Yeah.
And he's a little bit younger. I believe Logan's 26, 27. I think Jake's like 24, something like that.
And the thing is, too, with the difference of those guys is that when Jake's a better fighter, so he's going to take more risk and more chances.
Yeah.
Which is to his detriment because Floyd does this what Floyd does.
Yes.
So he was going to leave himself open way more than Logan did. Logan was very cautious with Floyd, where he didn't give Floyd a lot of opportunities to put those combos together, where Jake will, because Jake's going to take more natural chances than Logan did. Yeah. Which now that's a fight that I'm definitely watching. Like this I was like, all right. That one I want to see that fight.
And I know what Floyd would campaign for and would push for. Would Jake allow it to be an exhibition and not count for his record? Because you know what Floyd would want to do. Floyd was like that, it's exhibition and not counting. Jake's,
which is weird that he did, because like if this was a sanctioned fight, Floyd won the fight very easily. Like you look at the numbers and watch the fight. Like Floyd was never in danger. He won that fight convincingly. So I don't know why he wouldn't want this on his record. Now, Jake, I think Jake, the guy who really, really wants to do this, he's gonna have a hard time with it being an exhibition. I don't know that he takes that as this doesn't.
What's he 3-0? I think he's assuming he wins his next one, he'll be 4-0.
Yeah.
He's not going to want that to be an exhibition,
right?
But at the same time,
you do get like Logan Paul made $20 million last night for like what he did 8 rounds, so he did 24 minutes of work for 20 million. He made basically $1 million a minute.
Yeah,
like that's okay in my book. Like I'll take an exhibition for that. And like eventually against a guy like Floyd Mayweather, who you're not going to get hurt. Like Floyd's not going to hurt me. Like he's not going to like it's not going to be something that happen. Like he's not going to hit me to the point where like I got my swollen eye socket.
He's not going to you're right.
So fighting Floyd Mayweather to me, it's like, okay, so I have to make $20 million and my face will still be intact when I leave, bro. I'm in.
Yeah, like now getting into a ring with Tyson Fury is a different story.
Right. Yeah, or Wilder.
Yeah.
Or even Tyson right now. No.
Oh well,
I don't want to do that.
Well, no. Listen, I wouldn't want to see him in his casket. Okay,
no.
I'm not even in his casket. I'm not putting up with that.
Like those combos he's put on Roy Jones. That's too much. No, no amount of money worth that for me to have me get hit like that.
Now, real quick, before we hit a break, from one amateur boxer to a different one, did you see Ocho Cinco's fight?
I did. he actually, his footwork was pretty good.
He's known for that.
Silly. Like when he went down, that was aggressive. The way he fell, like I thought he tore his rotator cuff hitting the ground.
He got tagged when he fell.
Oh yeah. But he didn't embarrass himself. Like, no. I thought for the most part he looked pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think he could fight someone of significant. But this is like a bucket list thing for him. I don't think he's taking this too seriously to do that. But yeah, he didn't embarrass himself.
Yeah, no, not at all. So, but like I said, we're going to a quick break real quick. On the other side, we will get into some major NFL headline that came across over the weekend.
Yes.
I buried them last week, but I'm going to rebury them again, the Phillies. Okay. And I will tell everybody how I officially realized on Saturday that I am old.
Oh.
Yeah.
Brown in the morning, Marques Brown, Justin Emery, right back.
Justin Emery here to tell you about Beef Jerky Outlet in Langhorne. Sharon and Michael are the owners, and they have the best beef jerky around. You can never go wrong with the maple bacon, but my personal favorite is the honey barbecue turkey jerky. Turkey jerky? Yeah, I said it, turkey jerky. It's getting warmer out, which means grilling season. And what better way to top your meat than with Beef Jerky Outlet's very own sauces? Spicy chipotle, sriracha horseradish, and roasted pineapple habanero are just a few of your options to choose from. Located at 110 Lincoln Highway at the corner of Oxford Valley Road, or shipping nationwide on their website, beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne. more. Use promo code BREMI for 10% off and say, yo, Justin sent you.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys about my friends at Amy's Pizza. Amy has a plethora of pizzas for your munching pleasure, especially pizzas such as Hawaiian, Margarita, and Taco. Taco actually being my personal favorite. And also plenty more. If it's sandwiches you desire, they've got those too. Cheesesteaks, burgers, hoagies, even gyros. Amy's offers pickup and takeout options. Also, they're available on Grubhub. Amy's located at 332 York Road in the heart of Hatboro. You can call them today at 215-957-1000. Again, that's 215-957-1000.
Every Friday, we're bringing you bits. But it's especially hilarious to me knowing what I've seen happen in McDonald's locations over the years. Hell, what I've done in McDonald's locations over the years.
Hits. Always winterize your pipes. I think that is such a funny...
And everything in between.
See,
it's the opposite. You don't see it, and he was totally about eating that baby. We are Twitty and the Brand. We're going to ruin something that you love. New episodes weekly on all your favorite podcast streamers.
Welcome back, Bradman in the Morning. Marques Bradman and Justin Emery.
Old man.
Old man Emery.
Old man over here. So, have you ever heard of assisted stretching?
No.
So what it is it's where you go to and a trainer or a physical therapist, whoever it is, physically stretches your muscles out for you, past the point of like where you would be able to yourself to increase flexibility and all that. Now it's not yoga, it's not Pilates, it's literally stretching of your muscles.
Okay.
Think about like what you see like Embiid having a trainer like work on his legs before the game. Think something like that kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So I am notoriously the least flexible person that you will ever meet. Okay. Legendary inflexibility. So I found this like stretching thing online. They offered the first class was for free. You could come and try out a 45-minute class, no charge, and if you like it, then you can sign up for a plan with them.
Yeah.
I was like, well, what do I have to lose? You know what I mean? If nothing else, I'll at least get like a really good stretch in, maybe learn some new stretching techniques that I can use on my own and not be so inflexible.
Right.
Marcus, it was tough. It was, it was one of those moments where like you finally realize that like you can't do the things that you used to.
Oh, it's a hard realization.
Man, so they get you on this pad and they have like all sorts of like different, like place your hand here, place your leg here, so they can like see how far you can stretch and all that.
Yeah.
And they put it, then they plot it all on this sheet, and then they put your actual age versus like your flexibility age.
Oh no.
Now, for the vast majority of the things, I was really close to my actual age, within like a year or two on either side. For the vast majority of them.
That's good.
And this is why it hurt me a little bit when you were talking about James Harden. Then we get to the hamstrings.
Hammies?
Oh,
hammies.
Oh man. So they do it in bands of 5 years. So like 30 to 35 is like an age range. 35 to 40, 40 to 45, et cetera, et cetera. So I wanted to fall in between the 30 to 35 range.
Yeah, of course.
So a 9-inch. So they have it in four tiers. They have poor, okay. I'm sorry, they had 5. They have poor, like the okay, the average, the above average, and the excellent tiers. Yeah. Okay. For my age range, the absolute lowest, a poor rating, the lowest level for poor is a 9. Okay. I was a 4. I was a 4.
Oh.
So the guy's like,
you have AARP hammies.
Yes. 67 years old to be exact.
67-year-old hammies?
67-year-old hammies. So the guy's like
hammies.
The guy was like, he's like, he's like you're extremely tight in the hamstring area, but he's like, you mentioned that at our during our orientation, so he's like, this isn't to be expected, but he's like, I'll be honest with you, in my 18 years of doing this, I've never seen anybody more inflexible than this.
Wow.
So my
it happens to the best of us.
so my new thing now is you will not catch me hurting any hamstrings.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Well,
now I'm not going to sign up for any more classes because I don't need any more hits to my ego like that. Like I was cool with the one free one.
yeah.
Yeah. On Saturday, I had a tough right around noon. I had a tough realization.
That'd be a tough afternoon for you.
Actually, so I left there. Like I didn't know.
You go home, do some lunges.
No, absolutely not. So I mean, it was after stretching. I probably should have done something physical after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so I didn't know how to feel. So like when you leave, like when you go get a massage and you leave a massage,
Yeah.
like you have when you get like a therapist that like really gets out that tension, it's like out of body experience.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how much I would have a feeling of that. Like, so I'm leaving and walking back to my car, and I feel good. Like I feel stretched out, but it wasn't like the game-changing thing that I thought it might be. I didn't know. I never done it before.
Right.
That 4-hour nap, though, when I got home, has a different story to tell.
Different.
Different. Oh man, it was something else. It was something else. Now, I don't think I'll ever. I won't match your playing days. 6-time All-Star, anything like that. But yeah, it was nice. It was nice.
Right.
Now, a random thing. So I meant to bring this up while we were talking about the Sixers game.
Mm-hmm.
I was feeling good during the Sixers game thanks to that bottle of champagne I bought.
What's the camps?
Yeah. Well, I was doing mimosas. So
Love a good mimosa.
yeah. So underrated.
And a mimosa.
Yeah, underrated. Mimosas are underrated as far as where they take you to where you need to be.
Oh yeah. Oh
So-
yeah. I agree. Mimosa definitely, and champagne's a good buzz. It's a good buzz.
Yeah.
Champagne buzz is a nice buzz.
Yeah. Especially like nice hot day out and watching the Sixers, having a good time.
Yep.
So I came up with the thought that I might be able to match your playing career if it was 7-foot rims.
Okay.
So my official petition is going to be to start a 7-foot rim basketball league. Would you be down?
8 feet and I'm in. 10 feet's a little too short for me.
See, here's the thing: is that I feel like if it was 8 feet, there would be no difference for me whether I'm playing on 8 or 10 foot.
I'm dunking on everybody. Everybody, like, yo, if I go in the air and you're underneath me, I am dunking on everybody.
I feel like if it was a 7-foot rim, I could be like Charles Barkley.
There you go.
So, but I believe this happened yesterday morning.
Okay.
The NFL got a big trade. Now
Yeah.
we have you've been hearing about this for about 2 weeks now. Buzz, Shannon Sharp had that wild. What's
Yeah.
that?
Club Shay Shay broke it.
I was going to say Shannon Sharp had that wild incident, which a lot of people thought he might face some legal blowback because of it.
He said, "Oh, I'm out of here."
Yeah. Julio Jones traded to the Tennessee Titans for a 2nd and a 5th round pick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, I've heard that maybe depending upon play time, that 2nd could become a 1st. There's let's see, about 25 teams' fan bases that should be looking sideways at their general manager right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
A 2nd and a 5th for a first ballot Hall of Fame wide receiver.
Who still can play?
Yeah, I mean he's got a little bit of injuries and whatnot, but
Tennessee's a nice spot for him, though.
yeah. At first, I didn't know what to make of it because I don't think Tennessee's a great team, and I say that because I have no faith in Ryan Tannehill, and I know that on this show I kill quarterbacks on this show. Like I get that. Like I kill quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But the vast majority of the quarterbacks in the NFL are garbage. Like you have 32 starters. And I mean, don't get me wrong, you have to have 32 starters in the league. I get that.
Yeah.
But only about a dozen of them are not trash. I mean, Kirk Cousins is a starter.
Right.
Tannehill's
I like Ryan Tannehill probably a little more than you do, and I don't think he's been the problem there. The problem for Tennessee really has been the other side of the ball. They are a horrible defensive team,
and it makes no sense with all the coaches that they have that
right.
have defensive backgrounds.
Right, their defense
and they don't have bad defensive players either.
Yeah,
that's the crazy part.
Bad defense, and offensively, you look at them because what Ryan Tannehill does really well, and they've kind of geared the offense around is the play action,
the bootleg, the play action,
get him out of the pocket a little bit, and this is perfect having a guy like Julio out there to throw to, and then now you pair him with AJ Brown. You got some guys.
Derrick Henry's in the backfield still.
You got guys here. So
they lost Johnny Smith to he's with the hoodie now. He went to New England.
Yeah,
so you lost him. You got a decent. Your now starting tight ends, extremely raw, but he could be turned into something good. Yeah. Julio is one of my favorite non-Eagles.
Okay.
And I don't think this is like. I know he probably didn't really have much of a say, in where he ended up at. I don't think he has a no trade clause or anything like that. I would have forced my way to Denver though if I was him.
Denver, really?
Yes, I would have forced my way to Denver because they have an in-place defense already. Denver is one of the best defenses in the league, ready to go. And they're an Aaron Rodgers trade away from being a problem.
It's funny you bring him up because I was actually going to say this is another reason why Aaron Rodgers would be mad at the Packers.
Well, I don't think that I don't think the Falcons were going to put him in the NFC anywhere. I think the Falcons were like, if we're going to move him, he's going to the AFC.
For a right package, though. Maybe.
I mean, think about just in Matt Ryan and Rodgers' careers. They've met in the playoffs, at least 3 or 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Atlanta's going to be very good.
No.
This year. I mean, you drafted number 4 overall. You're not expected to be good.
What makes the Kyle Pittman selection a little confusing?
Kyle Pitts, yeah.
Kyle Pitts, a little confusing because that was more of they're still trying to win now, and then you go trade your best wide receiver. But I know Calvin Ridley's really good, and maybe
some of that is don't get me wrong. They Julio has a big contract. Make no mistake about it. He's a big contract. So I'm sure some of it had to do with that as well. But I don't know. I don't think this moves the needle for the Titans at all. This doesn't. They'll have probably this might win them an extra game or 2. But does this put them over the Kansas City Chiefs?
It depends. No, not at all. But it depends where their defense is. I don't think they're over the Bills or the Chiefs. Right. However, they're in that conversation for a deep playoff run because they've already had one. I mean, they were listen. 2 years ago, they were in the AFC Championship game, so they can when it comes to King Henry, now you got some more outside help. The thing with me, like I said, with them is always
with AJ Brown and Julio Jones, you will never see 8 in the box.
Right.
I might have to put Derrick Henry on my fantasy watch.
Yeah. He's set up to have a really nice year.
Yeah, I might have to do that. I can't wait for football to come back for us to dive into.
Yeah, football with fans also.
Because the NBA's, just getting ready. They'll be wrapping up in about a month. So I actually have a confession to make on this show.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And I will accept all the criticism that comes with it. Marcus, these NHL playoffs got me.
Wait, you're in?
These NHL playoffs got me.
You're in the NHL playoffs?
Really just one team. I'm really just specifically watching the Vegas series.
Okay.
But
you're watching.
I'm in on the Vegas Avalanche 2-2 series heading back. Game 5 is going to be in Denver.
I love to see it. No criticism here.
Yeah, no, I'm grooving on it.
I'm always for learning new things. I'm all into that. And listen, the hockey playoffs can be a lot of fun. The like regular season can be a little much with the 82, but hockey playoffs can be a lot of fun. Like, I do root for the Flyers. I'm not going to call myself a huge NHL fan because I'm not. But like when the Flyers are good in the playoffs, I'm all in. I'm all in.
I feel. All right, I need your. This is now a therapy session. Okay, I'm on the couch. I'm on the Bradham therapy.
My Argyle sweater.
Yes, please do. Okay. I feel dirty rooting for the Golden Knights, and I basically feel like I'm done with the Flyers. And that is because for the last 45 years, they have slapped their fan base across the face.
Yeah.
And in the 4 years that the Golden Knights have been around, they've had the best record in the West 2 of those years, and they're perennial contenders to make it to the Cup.
Yeah.
Not to mention that the atmosphere. You go into T-Mobile Arena, and I would, if you told me I was at a college football game with that atmosphere, I would have believed you. You go to a Flyers game, and I have an orange ball with a helmet chasing me around. So, I think what I'm saying is that I might be renouncing my Flyers. I guess I should say the Philadelphia 4-for-4 mindset and go 3-for-4 with the Golden Knights.
Well, listen.
What does that mean?
You have a right to do that. And the reason why you have a right to do that is because you also have lived in Vegas.
Yes.
So do that. This is something that you can do. However, if you do this, you can't come back.
I know.
Make the decision. You're out. You're out forever. Mm-hmm. So like this is something that you have the ability to do this. Like if this was anybody else, I would have said no, you can't do that but you have a Vegas pedigree also. So you can do this, but you really need to think about. Like I'm going to give you a couple days to think about this, but I'm going to need to answer by Friday what you're doing.
I was gonna say we should definitely revisit this. I need someone to push me in a certain direction to kind of guide me a little bit.
You're on the clock because now you've made that statement.
I know there's no coming back from it. I get that.
Yeah.
And big admission. I recently gave away my Flyers hoodie.
Wow. So you're already kind of leaning the other way.
I'm already kind of leaning the other way.
You're leaning. Yeah. Like I said.
Now, I hate those people that are like, no. So when I encountered a lot of this type of person going to Penn State, Steelers fan, Penguins fan, Phillies fan.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the person that roots for a other city's team while also all in on every other team in that city, because it's not going to make me a Raiders fan. I'm always going to be an Eagles fan. It's not good. I'm always going to be a Sixers fan. The Phillies, we're about to talk about them in a second. I hate them right now. It's not going to make me an A's fan. You know what I mean? Right. Because let's be honest, the A's are out of Oakland. They're leaving Oakland. They're out of Oakland.
As they should.
They're out of Oakland as soon as they can get another city to sign over a loan for a new stadium. Right. So I can't give up every team because they're my squads. But the Flyers. Friday.
I need my answer. I know what you're doing.
Now, did you catch the worst baseball player I've ever seen in the history of baseball the other day?
Yes, we're talking about second base.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen that? Like, literally, have you ever seen that in a non-rundown situation where they've constantly went back and forth?
But what I don't understand about this play is
What were you thinking?
What were you thinking, and why did you not instantaneously go back to second base? Just go back to second base. I don't understand. He like froze. He was like literally, he was like this. Maybe he won't see me. Maybe if I stay right here, he won't see me. No, he sees you. We all see you.
We all see you. You're hard to miss.
We all see what you're doing. Like, I don't like, and again, when it comes to baseball, in every sport, but baseball in particular, fundamentals are so important. And managing a baseball team is not difficult, but you can always see a bad management job when the fundamentals are not strong.
There's a lot of ass hattery on this team right now.
Yeah, big ass energy.
Like, that's like the best way to word it. Like, I don't even know what other words to describe it. Like, there's just a bunch of nonsense going on this team. Like, I'm going to call them. I'm about to use a word to describe them, and I hate using it because, like, these guys have played this game at the highest level, and they've been doing this probably since they were like 5 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're dumb on the base path.
Correct.
They're dumb in the field.
Correct.
And they're dumb at the plate.
Correct.
They make dumb decisions from management.
Correct.
The front office makes dumb decisions, and the owner makes dumb decisions.
Correct.
The medical staff makes dumb decisions. The PR staff makes dumb decisions.
Correct.
This is a bad franchise. I'm not saying
how to be at full capacity or getting 15,000.
This is what I said last week when you were like, "Oh, the Phillies are open; they're having full capacity." No. They got the ability to have full capacity. No one's going down there. You said last week, "Are you going to take the kids down there? Would you pay the money to take the kids down there to watch this?"
I wanted to, but not anymore. We're not watching that.
You don't even.
I don't want
watch it on TV.
What was that? It was a bad baseball play, son. I don't know.
Yeah, like how are you exposed to?
Shut up.
Like.
Do you want some ice cream with the helmet? Shut up.
Like, how are you supposed to explain that to him?
You don't. I honestly, let's go watch a Little League game. Let's go watch a high school baseball game.
I mean, and when I say this is a bad franchise, I don't mean this is a bad roster or it's a bad team. Right. This is a bad franchise.
Yeah.
Like it's 2021. So what are we? 13 years removed from the World Series. Yes, 13 years. Mm-hmm. It feels like 30.
Yeah. Yeah, and I listen, we talked about this before. I thought this was going to be a fun year. I really did. I wanted this to be a fun year. I wanted this to be the welcome back to the park type of year to get excited about the future. But, you know, it's just so many things that are fundamentally wrong with this team.
Like,
I'll be honest, I don't even watch them anymore. I don't
either.
I don't even like.
They scored 12 runs yesterday
for a bat or two, but like I'm not watching right now.
They scored 12 runs yesterday. They won 12-6.
Yep, I don't care.
Don't care at all. I mean, it also didn't help that they were going head to head with the Sixers, but don't care. They're dead and buried. I will revisit this in 2022. Probably not. I mean, I'll have to because what they'll do is they'll do the same thing they did this year. They'll go like 7-3 to start the year, and I'll be all in, and then by June I'll be done because I have no faith in this franchise whatsoever.
I agree.
So, unlike I'm not doing the Flyers. They might be out the door. I'm not out the door with the Phillies, but they're getting put in the back of the closet.
Yeah,
take a term from what Fourth and John used to do. The Phillies, they're going in the bathroom.
I hear you. I can't dispute.
One thing though, I mean, you mentioned this to me in a text. We never got to it. But we will on Wednesday discussing the DMX album.
Yes.
Yeah. We didn't get to that, but we will be getting to that on Wednesday. Obviously, we'll be digging into Game 2 Wednesday as well.
Yep.
We'll have conspiracies again on Wednesday. Got a nice conspiracy theory coming on with us. And I will be probably failing another episode of Hockey or Nah again as well.
Yes. Follow me at Marques Between everywhere.
At Justin Emery Show on the Bluebird app.
Brad Memory Pod everywhere. Brad Memory Show for the merchandise. 10% off the code Bremy at Beef Jerky Outlet.
Come see us in 2 weeks there.
Yes.
23rd.
Yes. And until next time, you can be with us, you can be against us, but you're never going to stop us. Late.